The piece that's holding Africa back is the diaspora, and we that were born in Africa and that left. The missing part of what's wrong with your country is you. It's basically a gaping hole where you're from, and it's never going to be healed unless you make an effort to reunite politically, economically, socially with your countries. My name is Adenike Hamilton. Most people call me Nika. I'm a Sierra Leonean American. I'm a recent returnee back to Sierra Leone. I am a storyteller. My mode of storytelling that I am enjoying most right now is filmmaking. I'm a filmmaker. I'm the founder of Third Culture Kid Productions. We are a production company that focuses on content, food, and events from a global perspective. I began to understand the power of storytelling really when I was between 5 and 7. I was living in the Gambia as a refugee. And one of the things I would always hear on the news was about the war in Kosovo. I felt more empathetic to what they were going through, despite the fact that I was going through a similar experience. And that was when I understood that if you were to control the narrative, if you are the one that gets to tell the story, then you have a powerful place because you can control how people feel about you. I left Sierra Leone when I was 5 as a refugee. I moved to the Gambia where I lived for 2 years before resettling at the age of 7 in the United States. I remember moments. I remember when the war happened. I remember like getting ready to leave, and we actually left by boat in Sierra Leone. And it's actually an interesting story because what was supposed to be a 30-hour boat ride, us leaving from Sierra Leone to the Gambia, became a 6-day ordeal at sea because we were lost at sea for 6 days. I never thought the boat ride would end, and when we finally landed in Gambia, it was like the first time I knew that everything in my life was going to change. So when I first moved to the States, it was tough because whenever they heard that you were Sierra Leonean, this was during the time of the Civil War in Sierra Leone, so everything was Blood Diamond. Oh, child soldiers, are you a child soldier? And they say it so candidly, and it almost becomes a moniker that you wear on your neck. And so that was the first kind of time I had to grapple with my identity. I think my story of homecoming started when I was 21 years old, almost 22, and it was the first time I returned back to Sierra Leone. Then I just wanted to come back a lot more. I would come every other year or so, and it wasn't until 2020 that I made a conscious decision to come back to Sierra Leone. There were a number of things that inspired me to come back. I went to this event called Africa Chop House, the American ambassador for the AU, Arakana Koi. She gave a talk on why the missing piece of Africa, the piece that's holding Africa back, is the diaspora, and we that were born in Africa and that left. And she just gave a very moving speech. She said, you Africans that are always saying, this is wrong with Africa, do you not know that the missing part of what's wrong with your country is you? It's basically a gaping hole where you're from, and it's never going to be healed unless you make an effort to reunite with your countries. At that point, I had already started my production company in New York. I'd registered it and I'd been doing little things. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to just move back. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm just gonna try. I didn't want Sierra Leone to only be known as the Ebola place, the Blood Diamond place, the war place, the child soldier place. I wanted to just tell a different kind of story about Sierra Leone.